Hello everyone, this is Anerdymous from YouTube.com. We'll be using this showcase to show you a breakdown of the 10th edition in the Special Smash series. I'll start by showing you the reveal trailer, and then I'll go into more detail on the character's moveset. Alright, let's do this. That's right, the great Gizoid, Emerl from the Sonic Battle series will be joining the roster of the Special Smash video series. Some of you might be asking, this is the second character from the Sonic series you want in Smash? That's absurd. Well, I hope you don't have any hard feelings, but it is my show, so, you know. I'm sure many of you have plenty of questions, so I'll do my best to explain. First, what is Sonic Battle? Sonic Battle was a fighting game developed by Sonic Team and was released in December of 2003 for Game Boy Advance. Unlike many fighting games, the movement and attacks weren't very complicated, making it a good game for beginners to play. You could choose from a different set of special attacks to use each time you were KO'd, including the ability to guard a specific set of attacks. What made it truly special, however, was its use of 2D sprites on a 3D platform, giving you the ability to attack from different directions. Its story mode follows Sonic and friends discovering a robot named Emerl and attempts to stop Dr. Eggman, who is up to his old tricks. The game also ties heavily into the Sonic Advance series, and even makes reference to the Sonic Adventure series. Next, who is Emerl? I'll be going into some backstory in this section, so if you'd like to experience learning about him for yourself, give the game a try on Game Boy Advance. Anyways, many years ago, an ancient civilization created a sentient weapon that they refer to as a Gizoid. This weapon was capable of very dangerous actions, but luckily it became lost for many thousands of years. That was until it was discovered by Dr. Gerald Robotnik, who you may know as Eggman's grandfather. Years later, Emerl was discovered by Sonic and friends after Eggman had tossed him away. The name Emerl was given to him by Sonic due to his curious connection to the Chaos Emeralds. Even more curiously, Emerl has the ability to copy and replicate the moves of fighters he observes, giving him a wide arsenal of attacks. This is very similar to Kirby's copy abilities, but don't worry, Emerl decided on what battle cards he'd be using before coming to Smash, so there won't be any worry about getting your attacks used against you. Speaking of his attacks, I'd like to go over them for you. Please note that the camera may function differently than it does in the official game, as I didn't want to properly animate it. And here he is. Emerl's battle cards are used to customize every aspect of him, which means that every single one of his movements references how it's used by their original fighters. His walk is Gamma's walk mode, which then turns into Knuckles' dash. When designing Emerl, I figured it may not be fair to give him sonic speed, so we opted for a slower approach to complement his stronger attacks. Though, make no mistake, his speed is certainly nothing to disregard. Also, despite being a robot, he's surprisingly light, only registering about a middleweight. His dash also transitions well into his dash attack, Chaos Dolphin. You'll notice some of his attack animations have been adjusted to feel more like Emerl than the fighters he's mimicking, so I hope you won't be upset that he doesn't melt into a puddle true to Chaos's nature. His neutral attack is Sonic Punch, Sonic Kick, Top Kick, then Sonic Flare. This is a reference to how, if you continuously press the attack button in Sonic Battle, you would do your heavy attack, which we'll get into later. Also in Sonic Battle, after using a heavy attack, you had the ability to pursue the opponent and attack again, which would send them straight down, but I decided it was best not to include that. I tried to give an even spread of fighters' moves when designing Emerl, but it's hard not to give Sonic a fair concentration. Besides all his neutral attacks, Emerl also has Sonic's jump and double jump from Sonic Battle. You may also notice his voice. While he isn't voiced in Sonic Battle, he's still quite the chatterbox. Like his moves, his voice lines mimic that of the fighters he's copying. His side tilt attack is actually a mix of two, Electric Stab and the Paralyzed Cut, both from Gamma. His other tilt attacks are Girl Upper and Flexible Chaos. These attacks come from Amy Rose in Chaos. His tilt attacks are based on other second and third attacks from Sonic Battle. Now for the smash attacks. These will make use of the heavy attacks I mentioned earlier, but don't worry, Sonic Flare is nowhere near as powerful as these. Let's start with his forward smash, which is Knuckles' Megaton Punch. Use this if you want to send your opponent flying, but be sure you don't miss, as this move can leave you wide open. His down smash is Girl Crush from Amy, and his up smash is Sonic Updraft. This is based on the upper attacks in Sonic Battle, which is inputted by using your heavy attack input backwards. You may be wondering, if it's done by inputting backwards, then why only use it for up smash? Well, remember how I specifically referred to Megaton Hook as Emerl's forward smash? Because if you use a smash attack backwards, you'll unleash Chaos Upper, which comes from Shadow the Hedgehog. This move sends opponents upwards, and can lead into some surprise combos if used correctly. Next, I'd like to talk about his mid-air attacks. The first is Typhoon, which comes from Tails. Though, in this case, it's more fitting to say it comes from legs. Next is Homing Cutter from Rouge the Bat. This is a rather fast flip kick, and one of the previously mentioned aim attacks. Which means, if you hit it just right, it will result in a meteor effect. This is also the case for his downward attack, Gamma's Air Knuckle, which is much more powerful, but not quite as fast. His other mid-air attacks are Knuckles Air Hug and Chow Circle from Knuckles and Cream. Did you notice that Chow is actually a smaller Emerl robot? A visually distinct change, but still with all the cuteness of the original. Next I'll cover his throws. Though Sonic Battle doesn't have grabbing and throwing in the game, probably because everyone is too fast to catch. So I had to make adjustments to some already existing moves. His pummel is Emerald's standard first attack, so it's pretty weak. His forward throw is Tails' Magical Hook. It's visually a very fun throw. His back throw is Rouge's Charlie Kick. His up throw is Gamma's Upper Electric Shock. And his down throw uses Shadow Eagle. As it's based on an aim attack, if you use this in just the right spot, you may get a meteor effect from the throw. These throws utilize Emerl's movement a lot, so in a free-for-all, be sure to use the best throw to move Emerl out of danger. Now we'll discuss Emerald's special attacks. I want you to keep this in mind. In Sonic Battle, when you selected from 3 specials, you were given 3 options for how to use each category, one for each per round. Aside from the guard feature, the other 2 specials are decided on which is used on the ground and which is used while in the air. Typically, you can only choose between grounded or mid-air for each category, but when designing Emerl, I decided each special should have 2 variants. So, do you understand? It may be a little confusing, but to put it simply, Emerl has 8 specials, with 2 tied to each command input. I'll show you what I mean, so pay close attention. Emerl's neutral specials both focus on the shot category of attacks. With just pressing the B button, Emerl will use Energy Ball, something he picked up from Tails. It's a pretty simple energy blast, but it does good damage. That said, it does take a little time before Emerl fires it, so make sure you don't make yourself vulnerable. But it's still a good tool to keep opponents in check. In the air, however, pressing the B button causes Emerl to use Sonic Storm. This is faster and has a much bigger blast, but is also less powerful. That said, this also boosts Emerl into the air slightly higher, so if you miss your opponent and they're behind you, this might help you avoid getting punished. Now for the specials while holding to the side. These focus on the power category of attacks. His grounded special is Chaos Crush. Emerl will put his hand in the ground, then have tendrils sprout and thrash around. I guess this could be compared to Terry's Triple Geyser, but it certainly doesn't pack as much of a punch. Though don't be confused, hitting a foe with all three of these will result in quite the damage. If the opponent is hit by the first or the second hit, they won't be launched away, but instead stunned and comboed into the next. You may be wondering, what happens if you use it at a ledge? In the original Sonic battle, if you encountered a ledge while using Chaos Crush, it would continue the attack on the next level of elevation. Here, if you use it near a ledge, it'll wrap around and continue on the side of the stage. You could use this to stop opponents from grabbing the ledge, but considering the way they're launched from the attack, scoring a KO this way seems unlikely. Their mid-air special is Rouge's Spiral Dive. This has Emerl go into a free fall of sorts, as he starts rapidly spinning and descending. It may seem strange to have a side special go downwards, but think of it like the side input causing him to start spinning that way. Either way, this move has decent priority over other attacks, and can even be used to drag opponents down with you. You don't keep spinning until you reach the ground, but you do go a fair distance before you can act out. Next, I'll cover his down special attacks. These focus on the trap category of attacks. His grounded special is Cream Cracker. Sounds like a delicious treat, but I wouldn't recommend taking a bite of this attack. Using this attack causes Emerl to bury another one of the little Chow Emeralds into the ground, and when an opponent gets close, it'll detonate and create a wave of energy. If you try to use this attack when another one is already out, the first one will detonate, and you'll have to wait a little longer before the other one becomes active. His mid-air special is Air Roaming Chaos, which comes from Shadow. This has Emerl toss out a ball of energy, which will then expand and follow him around. When a foe touches it, it'll detonate and launch them into the air. This can be used as a follow-up, or even used to enhance a combo. Using the move again while one is already active will cause the older one to simply fade away, so you won't be as lucky to get a sneak explosion in. For the up specials, there wasn't a fourth category to draw from, so I decided to use ones from the shot category yet again. His grounded special is Rock Freefall, which is taken from Knuckles. Emerl's strength really shows through, as he easily lifts up a boulder and slams it into the ground. Unlike its original counterpart, however, using this move will propel you into the air, allowing you to catch airborne opponents. This boulder can also deal damage, so it can be used as a way to escape danger. That said, you won't be able to use up special in the air if you use this move, so please make note of that. His mid-air special is Amy's Air Pink Typhoon. This has Emerl launch out a tornado from under him to boost himself up, sort of similar to Hero's whoosh abilities. This launches Emerl a fair distance into the air and doesn't put him into a helpless state. That said, you won't be able to use any special attacks afterwards. I don't typically like to discuss controversy, but this particular move had its sprite copied in the DLC of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which caused it to be delayed. So I guess you could say Emerl put a little bit of Scott Pilgrim in his smash. Anyway, use this move when you're in a pinch to recover. You may notice, in comparison to his other attacks, Emerl's special attacks do seem a little slow, with some requiring precise timing to hit. You may wonder, does this mean they're super powerful to compensate? Well, yes and no. allow me to explain. You see, Emerl has a meter near his stock icon. This meter is his Ishikoro gauge. Ishikoro is a Japanese term that pretty much means to defeat somebody without contest. You may see where I'm going with this. There are 3 ways for this meter to fill up. I'll go over them in order of effectiveness. The first comes from receiving damage, in which the meter will slightly fill with each hit. This isn't the method I would recommend, especially due to Emerl's low weight. That said, getting KO'd will not alter the Ishikoro gauge at all. Either way, you'll need to be hit a few times before the gauge is fully filled. The next method is by shielding, which causes Emerl to begin charging it at a steady rate. In Sonic Battle, there was a button you held that would both charge your Ishikoro gauge as well as heal your lost HP. However, Emerl will not be able to recover damage with this method. Each character had their own speeds of charging, with some much faster than others. I think it's fair to say this is about Tails' charging level. This method is rather effective, but it leaves you open to getting grabbed, or even worse, having your shield break. So be sure to let go before it's too late. Actually, that leads me into the final method, and by far the most effective. The best way to charge your Ishikoro gauge in Sonic Battle was to press the charge button when a foe is attacking, which would initiate a guard. In this case, Emerl can do this by perfect shielding attacks. You'll hear a special sound when his perfect shield happens. Doing this will fill up Emerl's gauge by a lot, so use it wisely. Now that I've gone into great detail about how to fill this gauge, I'm sure you're wondering what it does. Well, if you use a special attack when your Ishikoro gauge is full, the result will be rather devastating. When the Ishikoro gauge is full, Emerl's next special attack will deal considerably higher damage. In the original Sonic Battle, hitting a special with the full gauge would cause the opponent to be KO'd instantly, but I decided that wasn't a very fair mechanic. When you use a special attack with the Ishikoro gauge filled, it will go back to being completely empty, no matter if your attack hits or not, so be sure to save it for when it's absolutely needed. I hope you have fun trying to deliver a powerful blow with the Ishikoro gauge. Finally, Emerl's final smash. Emerl's final smash is called Ultimate Gizoid Assault. This has Emerl unleash what's known as the ultimate Emerl attacks in the game. Unlike most final smashes of this nature, it doesn't end there. When Emerl sends them upwards, the opponent, or I guess anyone in the area, is hit by the final Egg Blaster. It's a very deadly combination. Don't think you're safe even if you avoid the initial hit. That said, Final Egg Blaster will not be fired if Emerl does not hit somebody with the start of his final smash. The attacks are rapid fire, but if you pay close attention, you may be able to distinguish what he's using. Let's slow it down and highlight one. Did you notice this attack? That's right, this is the Chaos Combo, which can be acquired through a special cheat code. There's one combo card for each character, and each one is capable of KOing the opponent instantly. You may be wondering, why the Chaos Combo specifically? Is it just the coolest looking? Well actually, it's a little more than that. You see, the code to get the Chaos Combo card is EKITA. Swap the K and the T and, well, you get Etika, whose name was actually inspired by this code. As you may know, Etika tragically passed away, and I figured this was a good way to remember him. He will always live on delivering these devastating blows, and I hope you all enjoy the reference. In typical style, most characters only have a total of 8 color variations. However, with Emerl, I decided to go above and beyond. Not only does he have more than 8, but each alt has slight variations. These costumes change what Emerl says when he first comes on screen, as well as one of his taunts. I'll show you what I mean with each one. Please, take a look.
Here we go. Let's see what you got. Initiate battle mode. Blasting without foot. Enemy detected. Attack! I'll tear you apart. Get out of my way.
That's right, I've included a costume for Gmo from Sonic Advance 3. He was built to be a copy of Emerl in power, after some reworking from Tails' personality. So I decided he'd make a great alternate costume. Though you could make the case that he should be an Echo Fighter, but really I just didn't want to draw more portraits. You may notice how I'm pronouncing their names right, Emerl and Gmerl. This surprisingly is the correct way each is pronounced, as the Japanese names Emerl and Gmerl seem to line up. Though, if you pronounce them like Emerl or Gemerl, I won't tell anybody. As one is built to copy another, which in itself is a machine that copies, having their names rhyme just makes the most sense. Emerald's other taunts have him whirl his arm around, and one that opens his third eye. These include lines from the game. The stage is Battle Highway. With the theme of the style of game being rough and rugged, this was the perfect choice. This area is a favorite of Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic Battle, and you frequently fight him here. It's a ruthless street where there's never a dull moment. Now for Emerald's Classic Mode, titled The Power of Creation. This takes you through other artificially made fighters on the roster, and showing that the Great Gizoid is superior. I'll run you through the matches. However, I've run out of animation budget, so you'll have to bear with the lack of actual gameplay from this point on. The first match is against Rob, a robotic toy made by Nintendo themselves. I guess Sega is finally going to exact their revenge. Next is Mewtwo, who is known as the strongest Pokemon and was created by Team Rocket. However, what's a Pokemon to a Gizoid, right? The next stage is Mega Man, who was created by Dr. Light to protect humanity. These super fighting robots have a lot in common if you really think about it. Both copy their opponents and are created to surpass all others. Now you're facing Dark Pit, which technically was created through the Mirror of Truth, separating him from the original Pit. Emerl is built for nothing but power, so an Angel of Darkness should be no match. Next, Meta Ridley. A fearsome opponent, the original Ridley now enhanced with cybernetic attachments after his defeat from Samus. Don't let his reasons for construction fool you, he's no pushover, but Emerl comes out on top nonetheless. Next is, what's this? I suppose it wouldn't be true Sonic Battle fashion without an army of fire robots. As well in fashion, each one uses specific moves of certain characters, so they should be easy to figure out. And finally, we have Gallium. He's a powerful foe, especially with his missile attack. In a way, I guess you could relate it to the fight against Eggman near the end of the game. Finally, I'll go over the included spirits. Sonic Battle's characters are all well-known and established characters, so most spirits will be reinterpretations of these characters to better suit how they fight in that game. I'll show you what I mean. In Sonic Battle fashion, all of these will be in stamina, with one exception. The first spirit is of course Sonic the Hedgehog. Do you notice in the art style that it's entirely straight lines? Seeing as how Sonic is already in the game, he's the obvious base. Though Sonic unfortunately doesn't have any references to Sonic Battle in his moveset. Anyway, he starts with a motion sensor bomb. This is to reference Sonic Cracker. He also focuses on using his neutral special, which is a reference to Sonic Meteor. His stage, Tortimer Island, is similar to where you fight him in Sonic Battle, Emerald Beach. Next of course is Tails, who is a fox using a Tanuki leaf. He has a Bomb Chew item, a reference to his Chew Squared bomb. Watch out, as an invisible Bayonetta is also going around who favors her up smash attack. This is a reference to Tails' flick. His stage, Wily Castle, references Tails' lab. Next is Knuckles, which will utilize 2 assist trophies. It's a Captain Falcon who has slow falling and a very powerful neutral B. These references Knuckles' ability to glide, as well as his attack Deep Impact. At the start of the match, the Knuckles assist trophy will show up. However, when he's received high damage, the moon will show up, referencing Meteor Crush. The stage Gar Plain looks a lot like Chao Ruins. Next is Shadow the Hedgehog, a Mewtwo with powerful special attacks to emphasize his chaos energy. His Shadow Ball could also be seen as roaming chaos. He also has a Smart Bomb that will throw directly onto the ground, a reference to his Chaos Burst attack. Also, Shadow himself will show up as an assist trophy. I added Battle Highway, so that will be his stage. Now on to Rouge, who will be a Zero Suit Samus with a jetpack. This is to match her ability to fly. She also favors her neutral special, which in a way could be like her beauty shot, though I wouldn't call this a very tender kiss. Her stage, Foresight, is very similar to Club Rouge, or perhaps Night Babylon as a whole. Next is Amy, who in this game is obsessed with what she calls boxercising. To meet that, this will be against a Little Mac, whose fists deal big damage. However, they'll also have an Ore Club on hand, to reference her hammer and her Pink Typhoon attack. Due to Amy's affinity for pink, Magicant seems the closest to Amy's room. Next is Cream, a very powerful opponent in Sonic Battle. This will have Rosalina and Luma wearing the bunny hood, greatly increasing her jumping power. She also favors her neutral B, which matches Cream's Chao Cannon attack. Umbra Clock Tower is much scarier than the library, but it certainly fits. Gamma's next, and things are getting intense. This is against Rob, who has strong special attacks, the neutral matching Gamma's Devastator attack. This is one of the only attacks in Sonic Battle that can be charged, which matches very well. Also, when he's at low health, Bob-Ombs will begin to rain from the sky. This references not only Gamma's Meltdown attack, but also the Gamma explodes when KO'd in the game. If you decide to try the game for yourself, please be wary of that. It can be very disheartening to lose a lead due to this, so please be careful. The Bridge of Elden stage matches Metal Depot's long and linear layout. The final spirit from Sonic Battle is Chaos, and he's no slouch. Due to his watery nature, Inkling is who you will face. However, his speed is extremely lacking, as well as very high super armor. Inkling's down B attack is very similar to the Chaos Shot attack, as well as many movements mimicking Chaos. Holy Summit's crater is filled with water and ice upon Chaos' arrival, so Summit makes sense for where you do this fight. That's all the spirits from Sonic Battle, but I also added a spirit for Emerl, the legend spirit of this board, and the only one that isn't in stamina mode. Of course, this uses the Emerl ult from Emerl. To match his fight style in Sonic Advance 3, his dashes will deal tremendous damage. If that's too easy for you, however, then don't worry, because there's much more. When you defeat Emerl, Emerl's true power comes out, and you'll have to fight a giant Rob wielding a Steel Diver. They'll also have super armor, so don't think you'll be able to beat them too easily. On top of that, they'll also have a random chance to get their final smash, so be on high alert. Final Destination is the best place for a final battle, no? Well, that's everything for Emerl's Showcase. I know this is very different from Special Smash's norm and may feel a bit more drawn out than usual. That said, if you are a new viewer, there usually isn't this much put into these moveset videos. The time it took to finish this showcase was certainly a very powerful task, and I don't expect to do this format again for a very long time. However, it's all for the fans, and their support that keeps me going. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll subscribe to see the upcoming movesets I plan to make in the following episodes of Special Smash, which leads me to, if you have a wacky character that you'd like to see put in Smash, Put them in the comments below, and I may take a crack at them someday. Anyway, thank you again for watching.